And so
Right.
you're much better off to start with the 13Fs, because if you look at the 13Fs, they wouldn't filter well. We've been owners of a company called Daily Journal for about 5 years. And when we first started talking about the firm, the finances, and even today, the financials and the financial statements absolutely didn't match what was happening in the economic reality of the business. So if you are screening, you would never in your wildest imagination have Daily Journal fall into the pool of assets you should be looking at. And it's an incredibly strong, wonderful business. It's been over a double for us, and we'll hold it for decades.
A question I want to ask you is, what out of this process that you've followed, what's been your most satisfying investment? Is there one that stands out to you where you kind of followed this approach, you made a big investment and then it just really worked? Is there one that stands out like that?
I'm really pleased with Daily Journal, which we just mentioned, because in studying that firm, I think it makes me a better investor.
How so?
Because Daily Journal has been run for 42 years and put together by Charlie Munger and Rick Guerin, which is just hard to fathom in itself. You know, they started with a $2 million purchase of some newspapers, and now we have a 600 million market cap firm, and it took them 40 years. So over those years, these men that invented these ideas of moats just put everything they could possibly imagine into the structure of the business. So as you peel back the layers and the onion of everything, you just find moats after moats, and it's unbelievable advantages. Charlie Munger used to always talk about it like you can't teach the new dogs the old tricks. And so I go in there trying to figure out what all these old tricks are. And it's things like, it's things that are simple and not easy. It's like treating your customers right, not ripping them off. And guess what? It really works. So, and there's other obviously more advanced moats than treating your customers right, but you'd be very surprised the way that they go about the RFP process compared to their main competitor flips the whole IRR from a negative to a positive. And it's just because of Charlie Munger's genius. So all of these things help me to look for other things. And in fact, I run my business differently as I learn what they did with Daily Journal. So I learn the best practice that maybe isn't in the textbook, because they just embodied that within Daily Journal. So Daily Journal is a wonderful business, and it is growing very quickly, and it's totally under the radar. First of all, you know, it was barely a 500 million. It was way under 500 million market cap when we were looking at it, built again by Charlie Munger and Rick Guerin, and packed with all, you know, there's 300 employees. They're all friends, and they've been working as colleagues with the greats for decades. So this is a really strong firm. You can imagine the off financial statement value just in the employees who have been listening to Charlie Munger for all of these years. We have done really extensive work with Daily Journal, probably owned it now for 5 years, researched it for 5 years, and probably went to the annual meetings for 10 years before we even bought shares. I interviewed like 50 employees. I even sort of crashed a corporate event where they were training all their customers, trying to figure out what the technology is actually building. And what we learned years ago is that they were building a courthouse case management software solution. Okay, so it's called eSuites. Journal Technologies used to run Justware, and now they run eSuites.